Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Tsang. Homage to the 16th Dharma King Karmapa. And homage to Master Dukden Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa, the concealed essence of the Sri Hebadra. Simu, Tutan Siddhi Rinpoche, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma instructors, Dharma assistants, all disciples present here and over the internet. Our participating guests of honor from Taiwan government, the Chief Secretary, Mr. and Mrs. Tsang Peifu. From Academia Sinica, the Academian Professor and Mrs. Zhu Siyi. The Council President from Tainan City, Mr. Tsai Wangquan. From the Zhongshan Medical University's affiliated Plastic Surgery Department, the head of the department, Dr. Zheng Senglong. The Scholars Group of Tribhuda School, the distinguished Professor Wang Jingxian. Professor Wang Yaozhen. Professor Wang Li. Professor Mai Yinhuang. Professor Cai Guoyu. Professor Gu Haoxiang. Professor Ye Shuwen. Professor Lin Xiuji. Professor Hong Xinyi. Professor Si Jiamei. Dr. Yu Jiangcheng. Medical Doctor Li Jun'an. Attorneys to the Tribhuda Foundation, Mr. Luo and Ms. Kim. The President of the Worldwide Lotus Light Charitable Society, Master Tsang. President of the Lotus Light Charitable Society of Taiwan, Mr. Li Chunyang. The General Manager of Jingyi Enterprise, Ms. Zhang Yizhen. From Qiping Furniture Club, the President, Ms. Huang.
My university same classmate, 朱金水先生及夫人陈哲霞女士，蔡明仪先生及夫人杨。
Mr. and Mrs. Zhu and Mr. and Mrs. Tsai.
中华民国侨务顾问周。
And the advisor to the overseas Chinese, Ms. Zhou Quan Xiuqing. Representative to the legislator Cai Jichang, Ms. Chen Huimei. A rep from the PIC Guam, Ms. Zheng Yi. Representative to the council person from Kaohsiung City, Xu Huiyi. From UAE, the Greenland Enterprise, the President, Ms. Lin Kunming. A notable entrepreneur from Hong Kong, Datuk Kenneth Loy and Mrs. Loy. From Itatan culture of Indonesia, Miss Arjun Chang. From Brazil, Lotus Light Language School Vice Principal, Miss Liang Yan. Producers for the Great Perfection Dharma Hevajra Exposition and Development Stages of Tantrayana, Master Lien Yi, and the host Dharma Sister Pei-Jun. Producers for the CTI TV Taiwan, 给你点上心灯 Miss Rebecca 徐雅琪。And thank you for the donations for the meals today.
California for small girl.
Good afternoon, everyone. How do you do?
Good afternoon and domo konnichiwa. Selamat siang, selamat datang. Sawadika, kamsahamnida. Hola, amigo.
There are many people participating today from all over the world, and there are many VIPs that did not register. I saw them, and also businesses and donors. They didn't want to register themselves because they didn't want to make their money known. So they did register for the VIPs. And there are also many other doctors or scholars in the academic world from many places. And also the distinguished personalities from different corners of life. Thank you for coming. Today, we practice Hevajra Homa. As we all know, Grandmaster had exposed on Hevajra for a long time because Grandmaster had written a book called The Great Bliss Within the Empty Nature, the Hevajra Exposition. And Hevajra is, my exposition on Hevajra is most detailed and took the longest time. And I also expounded on Kala Chakra for a long period of time. Why is the title of Hevajra is Emptiness Within Great Bliss? This is very important. That Hevajra can subdue 4 kinds of maras. The first one is mara of affliction. Second is mara of the 5 aggregates. based on the form, the visuals, the ears, eyes, ears, nose, smell, tongue, body, and consciousness and mind. And also Mara of death. Once you gain yogic response in Hevajra, you transcend life and death. So you are in control of life and death, and you go beyond life and death. So you surpass the Mara of death. So the Mara of death cannot bind you. So of course you go to the Pure Land, you attain Buddhahood. That's why Hevajra is very important. And Hevajra can also subdue Mahaswara Mara. That his feet are stepping on the 4 Maras or 4 devils. Mara of afflictions, Mara of the 5 aggregates, Mara of death, and Mahaswara Mara. So Hevajra can subdue the 4 Maras. So by practicing this Heruka practice and gain yogic response, you can attain Buddhahood directly. So I spent the longest time expounding on Hevajra and Kalachakra. And following Hevajra earlier, descending is something beyond your imagination. That was Guru Gule Buddha Mother. It was to my surprise, because other than Hevajra, there was also Guru Gule Buddha Mother and Golden Mother. And a very rare one that has never appeared before. Wow! And it was Mahatara Heruka. The Mahatara Heruka that will be transmitted next week. The primary supplicants today are very fortunate. They would receive blessings from these 4 deities. It's very special, very unique. 4 deities descending here together. On March 8, at the CKS Memorial Park in Taipei, there will be a grand ceremony on the Mahatara Heruka. And there was a drum performance, and also this the Mahatara Heruka T-shirt that on the theme True Love, and we hope that everyone can wear this T-shirt. This T-shirt that was designed by Master Lien Miao. So this is the T-shirt designed by Master Lien Miao. But this is a short sleeve, so if it's cold, you would have bare arms. Oh, you can wear long sleeves inside and wear this outside. What she meant is that it will not rain on that day. So if it's hot, they could wear this. If everybody is wearing this, how about those wearing suit? Or Lama outfit or some Dharma robes. It is better to wear this inside, and hopefully everyone would buy. It would look better if everyone wear the same one. It's like symbolizing our unity. So does T-shirt represent our spirit? It's a team spirit. It is better just to tie it on your hand. So if you don't wear it, you can just carry it with you, or on your waist, or as a scarf, or doesn't matter how you want to wear it. So today is Hevajra Homa, and Hevajra descended, and then along with him also Mahotara Heruka. That in Tantrayana there are the 5 Heruka Dharma practices that only exist in Tibetan Tantrayana. The first one that appeared was Hevajra. And then Chakra Samvara, so Chakra Samvara, and the Guya Samaya, Yamantaka, and the last one is Mahamaya or Mahotara Heruka. These are the 5 Heruka Dharma practices of Tibetan Tantrayana. And in my past books, I have written that Guya Samaya, I wrote it as Uchusma, but actually that was wrong, because in Tibetan Tantrayana it should be Guya Samaya and not Uchusma. But in the newer books, where if I wrote it to be Uchusma Heruka, that was wrong. It should have been Guya Samaya. So the 5 Herukas are Hevajra, Chakra Samvara, Guya Samaya, Yamantaka, and Mahotara Heruka. These are the 5 Herukas. And Kalachakra Heruka is the Heruka that is practiced by the 4 orders of Tibetan Tantrayana. And the first one that appeared was Hevajra, and expounded on it for a long period of time. Because once you gain yogic response with one Heruka, with Hevajra, you would gain yogic response with other Heruka practices. Why? In my published books I wrote about the great bliss, emptiness within the great bliss. Why did I write about great bliss? This is only something known by the inner tantric practitioners. In Tantrayana we practice Qi, the vital energy, channels, and light drops or bindu. And these are the inner tantric practices. In Taoism, it's about the essence, Qi, and spirit. The methods in Tantrayana, simply said, first you train your qi to be full. And what do you need to rely on? Non-leaking. If you don't leak your qi upward or downward, naturally you would be able to hold the light drops. You use the qi to hold the light drops. And what are the light drops? Light drops is water, fire. In Taoism, they talk about dragon, tiger. Dragon and tiger are water and fire, and Qian and Kun are also meaning water and fire. So inside our body there is fire that is the master of our birth. There's temperature of our body. That inside our body, that that you would produce water from the heaven, and that inside your body there's hormone or water fluid, and the key point is on the essence. First, you do the practice of non-leaking. You use qi. You train in the 9th cycle Buddha breathing, treasure base energy yoga, Bao Ping Qi, and the Vajra chanting for practicing the qi. The purpose is to practice qi. And it teaches you not to leak your qi. Why? These are just the essence, the quintessence of the teachings today. Because you hold your breath, you lift up your anus, and the qi moves downward. As you breathe in, the qi goes to the lower dantian, 4 finger width below navel. It accumulates there. It cannot go further down because there is anus there, and the anus is closed and lifted up. So the qi cannot leak downward, and qi moves up through the throat chakra to the brow point, and it is closed at the top. It cannot go upward any further, and you need to hold your breath. When you hold your breath, and also when you do Vajra chanting, you need to hold your breath also in the Bao Ping Qi. So it cannot go down or go up. So qi open the central channel, open a pathway inside the central channel. It goes up and down and up and down until one day your central channel is open and flowing. At this time, the qi and chant would rub against the central channel and would generate bliss, and this kind of bliss is called the great bliss. The utmost bliss in the human world relies on rubbing. By rubbing, fire would be generated. By rubbing, bliss would be generated. Yin and yang, man and woman would have bliss by rubbing, but that kind of bliss is very short. It's called a short bliss. A very short bliss that lasts only for a moment. But the rubbing of qi against the central channels is called the great bliss. So if you make the qi to go up and down inside the central channel, up and down, that would be bliss. And in Fa Lun Gong, the turning of the Fa Lun Gong, Dharma wheel, is when the qi goes up and down the channels, and then the Dharma wheel would turn by itself. And this would generate bliss. And this is not an ordinary bliss, but this is a very superior bliss that's marvelous and supreme. There is a Dharma brother who experiences, Mr. Gao Ming Lu. He's right there. He experienced it. 24 hours that he was in this great bliss. And Grandmaster too had experienced this great bliss. Not just the qi moving inside, also the fire moving inside the central channel, the tumo in a fire moving inside the central channel, and light drops moving the central channel. These three kinds of things would generate great bliss. Once you generate great bliss, 24 hours, you would be happy. Your muscles and bones and your mood and your mental state would be very happy, and it lasts a long time, 24 hours a day. You're amidst this bliss. This would be called great bliss. If you don't experience this bliss 24 hours a day, then if you don't experience great bliss in your inner tantric practices, then you're only kindergarten. In English, it's called kindergarten. So your inner practices are only kindergarten if you don't experience the great bliss. Once you experience the great bliss, it is also very difficult to practice great bliss. Once you attain that, you have no afflictions whatsoever. That's why you subdue the Mara of affliction. Because your bliss far surpasses your afflictions, then how could you experience any afflictions? Because all over your body you experience bliss. Even the bones are soft and melting. You know what bliss is about? It's kind of soft and tender and tingling and something beyond words. When the Buddha was describing bliss, it's hard to put into words because it's hard to describe. Because you're experiencing this bliss, you're always amidst the happiness. How could you feel any afflictions? So Havajra is about great bliss. First, you train in the non-leaking and the practice of qi. And when the qi opens the central channels, you would experience great bliss. And because you are non-leaking, that qi doesn't leak upward or downward, then you hold the qi and you can also hold the water, and that would be called non-leaking. And the water can also descend and the inner fire ascend. And the melting of water and fire in Taoism that would be called, then you would form Jin Dan, which is the golden elixir. And that would be called the Great Way Golden Elixir. So let me tell you, practicing Qi or practicing the essence to return to the Qi, and practicing Qi to return to the spirit, and practicing the spirit to return to the way. So you want to prevent your water to leak down, or to prevent the fire to leak up. And you need to comprehend or master a lot of methods. Why would you be able to drip the water and ascend the fire? Let me tell you the key formula. The meditation in Zen Buddhism, and you empty yourself of everything. At this time, the Qi, the primordial Qi of before birth, enter into you, because you empty yourself, and the fire would naturally blaze, and the water would naturally drip, and naturally you would be able to form the Dan or elixir. And there are two words. One is empty, that you have nothing inside your mind or heart. That's called Xu, or empty, void. And you have no thought whatsoever. What is it called? It's called serenity. That you have no thoughts. Quietness. When these two states appear, water and fire would appear naturally and melt and intermingle. So meditation, there's meditation, sitting meditation, sleeping, lying meditation, walking meditation. Why do you need this meditation? Is to stop all thoughts, so that there's nothing in your heart or mind. So the you of after birth would become the prior birth, and the consciousness of the universe would enter into you, and you would become primordial or become the prior birth. And at this time, water and fire would intermingle naturally. The key here is in the meditation. When water and fire are about to intermingle, the key issue here is in meditation. If you are in meditation, then the fire would ascend and water would descend, and at the heart chakra they would intermingle, and they all happen naturally, automatically, if you can enter into meditation. And at this case, your fire would ascend and the water, the body chakra, would descend. But they do not leave your body, and then naturally you would form Jin Dan, the golden elixir. These are the key quintessence, the fifth instruction of spiritual cultivation. So have Vajra, great bliss, and empty nature. What is empty nature? Nothing in your heart or mind. Stop all thoughts. That's empty nature. So emptiness within great bliss. Not only we have great bliss, if you only have great bliss, then you're only at the realm of When you reach the state where the inner fire and the light drop can generate bright radiance, then you would reach the realm of form. When you can be in meditation where the inner fire can naturally ascend and the light drops can naturally descend and naturally form the elixir, and you are filled with bright luminosity, filling the whole universe, then that would be called empty nature. But let me tell you a key point. Nothing on your mind or heart, and there is no thought appearing whatsoever. These two are the greatest quintessence of spiritual cultivation. They are both inside your body. You don't seek outward. So you seek inward, then that would be called authentic. If you seek outwardly, then that would be evil or deviant. That's how you differentiate between authentic and versus deviant. If you seek inward and you're in union with Tao, then you would be the authentic or the real teachings. But if you seek outwardly, that would be called the deviant teachings. So what do you seek outward? What do you seek outward? First, money coming home. Money, I want lots of money. I want to build the biggest Li-Tsang temple as big as Mount Sumeru. That's seek outwardly. I have lots of money. I want to build a Li-Tsang temple as big as Mount Himalaya or Mount Sumeru. Let me tell you this, Mount Sumeru is inside your heart. What is the greatest thing on earth in the universe is inside your heart, inside your mind, inside your body. Buddha Dharma that talks about this would be called authentic or real. If you have money, properties, lands, those all belong to earth. You cannot go to the realm of desire, realm of form, realm of no form, or the four sagely realms. Impossible. One simple statement: if you seek wealth or fame, you want to become president, vice president, ministers, or with the greatest power that is seeking outwardly. Some people want sons or daughters. Those are all seeking outwardly. Some people want a long life, to be 100, 110, 120. At the end, you would be under the Mara of death. At the end, you cannot run away from death. So if you want to seek, you should seek inwardly. The water and fire, dragon and tiger, and Qian Kung. You seek inner fire and light drop, and meditation is the most important. Recently, I want to go to Korea. I told disciples, I want to go to Korea and add a piece of flesh or pig's ear to my ears, then my ears would be like Amitabha's. And I would brighten my eyes, very deep and blue, like the ocean water. As soon as I opened my eyes, all the disciples would be electrocuted. And I would make my nose like Mount Sumeru, very high, and whiten my teeth. And redden my lips, and tattooed it to be red, with the red lips and white teeth, a very high nose, and the eyes like the ocean, and the ears like the Buddha's, and the swastika on my chest. Then I would be a living Amitabha Tathagata. This is seeking outwardly. That your inside is Tathagata. You gain great bliss. Do you have great bliss? Do you have radiance on your body? Can you prove your empty nature? Can you be in meditation? These are the fifth instructions. These are the quintessence. So seeking inwardly is truth, and seeking outwardly is evil. So this is how you differentiate between the two. You're listening to people saying that True Buddhist school is demonic or deviant. No, don't believe that, because if you're seeking inwardly, then that is authentic or truthful. And seeking outwardly is deviant. If you can't differentiate this, who would know what is authentic and what is not? If your mind has attained Buddhahood, then that would be the authentic teachings. That outwardly you look like a Buddha, that you add the pig's ears to the ears, the eyes are like the deep ocean, and you make your iris larger, and the teeth wide, and you can add a few more teeth, like Sakyamuni Buddhas. Those are not the true Tathagata. So talking about authenticity and deviant, the most important thing is, have you gained the great bliss? Even if you have, you're only on the first stage. And the inner fire can generate radiance, and also water can generate radiance. That's the second stage. And when water and fire intermingle and melt, don't think that Qian and Kun, Kun meaning earth, and Qian meaning heaven, on top is Kun, below is Qian. And the dawn of the first yang is happens during meditation. And in Taoism, it's called the living Zi time period. It's the first time period of the 24 hours. Zi. So at midnight, that's the dawn of the first yang. And at this time, when you meditate, then you can absorb the yang to become the intermingle of the water and fire. So, about Havajra, that's all I talk about. Emptiness within great bliss. And now it's already 5:42. Oh my God. Do we have time to talk about Great Perfection Dharma? Now let's talk about the second empowerment of the Great Perfection Dharma. the sound empowerment. The guru would be reciting a Sanskrit mantra, and his hand is swaying a Vajra bell, and his fingers are tapping on, striking on the desk, creating drumming sounds. The Dharma purport is as hard as the wood, symbolizing the purity of the sound dust. Guru Padmasambhava pointed out that some gurus, in conferring the sound dust empowerment, would first play the most beautiful sound of the world for you to listen, then play the sound of running water until all other running sounds were completely drowned and cleansed away. This is the purity of the hearing auditory sense. But first, let me share a joke. We have some disciples from Japan here today. A Chinese married a Japanese lady. A Taiwanese married a Japanese lady. And he has her Japanese name changed into Chinese name. Like if a Taiwanese goes to Japan, they also change their name into Japanese name. They change into the husband's name. And Japanese family names is like following the place of their birth, like inside the field, or by the road, or under the pine tree. That would be like Matsushita. Or if you have a turtle farm, then they would be called turtle. Or if they're born inside the forest, that would be called omori. I am Omori Taro-san. In my past life, I was a Japanese, so I'm familiar with omori. And my wife was called Michiko. Omori Michiko. In the past, I was Omori Taro, and my wife was Michiko. And born in Taiwan, I was called Ro Katsuhiko. And Simu was called Ro Lixiang. It's different lifetime. And a Taiwanese marries a Japanese woman, and he have her change her name. And what was her original Japanese name? He didn't want to tell, and everybody kept pressing on him. And finally he said, let's play a word of Chinese. It sounds like a Japanese name, but it also means not wearing pants. Like Umegawa. It sounds Japanese. But for Chinese, it would mean not wearing pants. But Japanese really don't wear any underpants when they wear kimonos. Japanese women don't wear any underpants. Master Jingxiang said, now they do wear, but in the past they did not. In Scotland, the bagpipe players they wore skirts, and they also don't wear any pants. And Master Lian Wang is here. Lian Wang. Please stand up so everybody could see. In the past, he never wore underpants. Today, do you wear? He still didn't wear any today. In Southeast Asia, sarong. When they wear sarong, they don't wear any underpants. It's not so funny. There are lots of benefits. It has good air circulation. And you don't have to wash your pants. And third, it's more convenient to go to the bathroom. Those wearing Lama outfit, I definitely wear underpants. But Master Lian Wang, he doesn't wear pants because he doesn't want to wash the pants. He doesn't want to bother washing pants. But Tibetan Lamas in Tibet, many of them don't wear any underpants. So this is issues about sound. There are lots of words that if we talk here, the language here, like Selamat Datang, in Chinese it sounds like "Are you dead?" But in Indonesia, in Malaysia, Selamat meaning good wishes. It's like good. It's like a wish, like a happy New Year or happy birthday. But in Chinese language, it sounds different. So as soon as we have sound, it's different. So we chant here, Om Ami Dewa Sit. But in America, when the Americans hear shit, that's poo, and you keep reciting it. Om Ami Dewa Shit, shit, shit. Shit on you. This is the issue about sound. In our mantra recitation, there's also an issue of sound. Sometimes you don't want to listen to the bad sounds. Songs are good, but if you are too attached to it, it would give you good mood singing. No, not that. I'm like a little fish in your pond to hold the white light of the moon, swimming through the 4 seasons the lotus are still fragrant, waiting for you to swim inside the water. The fireflies lit up the brightness of the sky. So the sound of songs are beautiful, but if you are obsessed by it, then you're seeking outwardly. Sometimes it's okay to have fun, but don't be obsessed by it. Master Lien Ting was a singer before. She was a singing star. One of our masters was. Anyone else? Master Tsang too was a singer. Master Tsang sings really well. He brought me to Pier 57 in Seattle. The first time I had karaoke there, he brought me there, right? Yes. The first time he brought me to karaoke. The first one who brought me to karaoke was Master Tsang. But don't get drowned amidst the singing and beautiful things. Pleasures are fine. Anything is fine, but they may not be beneficial. Remember this. In the Bibles, the first 4 books are spoken by Jesus. It's okay to do anything, but they may not be beneficial. They may not have any benefits. Remember that you need to seek inward inside your mind or heart to seek the great bliss, radiance, and emptiness. So at this time, the sound empowerment would occur to eliminate the sounds. When you hear, whether it is good sound or bad sound, they all would become just radiance. In great bliss, they all would be overpowered. And in radiance, they are all overpowered. And in empty nature, even more so, they would be overpowered. And at that time, inside your heart, there's nothing. And you transcend everything. And naturally, you would be able to attain the Tao. And only this would be called the true or the authentic Tao. And the rest are all deviant and false Tao. And if you seek outwardly, they are all the false or deviant practices. So don't just listen to people saying that, oh, because when you sleep, you're not straight, so they would call you not straight. Because when Grandmaster goes to bed, he would be straight on bed, but when he gets up, it would be kind of slanted. So the form, sound, smell, taste, touch, and mind, they're all once you receive the sound dust empowerment, then you would break the temptations of the sounds. Master Lien Miao can also sing, can also paint. She's like the talented celestial maiden. That her paintings is even Grandmaster cannot understand. So he's like my teacher, because I cannot even understand her paintings, so she must be my guru. Because if something that cannot be understood, they would win Nobel Prize. So books that nobody can understand, they would win the Nobel Prize. Like the author from China, he won a Nobel Prize because a book that cannot be understood. I cannot understand it because I am actually a literary character, and I'm also an author, but I cannot understand his book. And so in the future, I would write an article, I would write a book that nobody can understand, then I would win a Nobel Prize. So today, talking about the sound empowerment, the key point is the fifth instruction, the quintessence, that next week, when we talk about the Mahatara Heruka and also the Adi-Buddha, I would transmit the important quintessence. And tomorrow, please don't miss this opportunity. And the tiger head Vajra, there is a reason for this. It's not something made up. So welcome for coming tomorrow too. That's all for today on Mani Beni Home.